Today at Hilltop News, we will still be airing a pre-recorded episode of our Blue Hawk Talk Show. However, with the events that took place this last weekend in Allen and Frisco, we felt the need to respond and use our voices as student journalists to inform the public on the issue before getting into our show. On Saturday afternoon, 8 people were killed in a mass shooting at the Allen Premium Outlets. The suspect gunman was also shot by an officer on the scene, according to the Allen Police Department. Later that same night, Stonebriar Mall in Frisco was evacuated after reports of a group of teens running screaming caused a panic. No evidence of gunshots were found after police investigated. Now, for many of us, the Allen Outlets is a place we have all likely been to. Whether it was for back-to-school, clothes shopping, or looking for a birthday present for a friend, we maybe even have students there working their first job or know someone who was there Saturday. The tragedy that occurred in Allen impacts all of us. With that being said, Prosper ISD and the police department wanted to ensure the community they are monitoring and working with neighboring agencies with the sharing of information. They also want to make sure everyone is aware of the mental health resources available for students and adults through the counseling page on the district website. Prosper ISD does have a partnership with Children's Health for access to telebehavioral services. The school counselors are able to assist you with it. As for us at Hilltop News, we will be continuing on following this story and will be back to our regular Hilltop News shows on Monday, May 15th. However, as for today, we are still going to carry on our scheduled monthly talk show, Blue Hawk Talk. It will definitely be a shift in tone, but we are hoping to be able to bring a smile to everyone after this rough weekend. Keep rocking Blue Hawks and enjoy.
Coming up, we challenge some of Rock Hill's siblings in a brand new segment.
We check out a new game that's been quickly rising in popularity over social media.
And finally, we send Ricky off the rock to his first prom to have a little fun.
All this and more on this episode of Blue Hawk Talk.
What's up, Blue Hawks, and welcome back to another episode of Blue Hawk Talk. I'm Kyla, and for the first time, I'm super excited to have a new host joining me, Veronika Volcjak.
Thank you, Kyla. I'm so excited to be joining you for our last episode of Blue Hawk Talk for this year. I think we all agreed that with us being seniors, we should give our final sign-offs before graduation.
That's right, Veronika. With the school year wrapping up, this is going to be the last Blue Hawk Talk for this season. But with that, we have a jam-packed show in store for y'all, starting off with some segments.
Yes, for our first segment on today's show, Ashley Sallaway challenged some of Rock Hill's sibling sets in our newest segment, Sibling Swap.
Thank you, Veronika. Welcome, Blue Hawks, to our very first episode of the Sibling Show. Today, we brought in 4 sets of siblings to compete to see which group will be the ultimate duo on the hill. We will ask the siblings each a set of questions, and the older sibling will answer for themselves, while the younger sibling answers what they think the older sibling would say. If the siblings have the same answers on their whiteboard after 20 seconds, they will each get a point. Whichever team has the most points will win. Would you rather be the older sibling or the younger sibling? Who's your favorite family member? Would you rather dress identically forever or always be mistaken as a couple? Would you rather date your sibling's best friend or have your sibling date your best friend?
Okay. Oh, God.
No.
Well, that was definitely something. Congratulations to the Hancocks and the Sits on their tie. Thank you all for joining, and we'll see you back in the studio, Veronika.
If you and your siblings would like to be featured on a sibling swap in the future, let us know at rockhill.media on Instagram.
For our next segment, we stayed close to home and had some of our very own Hilltop News members see if they were on the same page by playing the popular new game, Wavelength.
The rules of the game are simple. 3 of us pick a number between 1 and 10, while the person in the hot seat closes their eyes. Then the person in the hot seat will give each person a topic, and they have to respond with something in that topic that coincides with the number they picked. After everyone has given their answer, the person in the hot seat will guess what number everyone picked at the beginning. We did record 3 more rounds of this game, but for the sake of today's show, we are going to leave it at 1. If y'all would like to see more, let us know at rockhill.media on Instagram.
Okay, let's get started. The first one in the hot seat is going to be our advisor, Margie Raper. Close your eyes and let's pick a number. Okay. All right, we're ready.
We got our number. All right, so I have to think of questions to ask you to see if we're on the same wavelength.
Yes.
Okay.
Wavelength.
All right, so Broadwin. Musicians. Artist.
I'm going to keep it really simple and be straightforward. Taylor Swift.
Okay. All right, Richmond. Colleges.
No bias.
Yeah, no bias here, but yeah, Baylor Bears.
Of course.
Sport.
A sport in general? Basketball.
So easy. They had a 10.
9. It was 9. It was 9. It was 9. It was like, I couldn't think of a 9 out of 10 sport. 'Cause I was like, football's 10, basketball is like 10, but like I don't know what 9 would be.
Okay,
So
I
you're
agree.
now admitting that there's a school better than Baylor.
You're admitting Baylor is not perfect.
That
I'm not saying that much.
That's
I'm
all
not
that
saying
matters
that
from
much.
today.
I'm not
That's all
saying
that
that
matters.
much.
You just said it.
Aiden Richmond thinks there's a school better than Baylor if he gave them a 9.
I just don't think there's any school that's worthy of a 10.
Likely line.
Well, obviously the TikToks make that a lot easier said than done because they didn't do near as good as we expected.
Usually we see Ricky on the rock, but this time Ricky is venturing off the rock and into the Renaissance to have some fun with Prom.
Hey guys, it's me, Ricky. Today is the day of the 2023 prom. It's a special day for most, especially me, because it's my first prom. They didn't give me any instructions of what to do. They said, Ricky, you do you. So, let's see how this goes.
This year's prom was definitely a night to remember, but speaking of prom, that leads us into our pop cultural portion of today's show.
That's right, Kyla. With prom season coming to an end for most schools, including ours, I feel like we need to address this year's prom trends because they've been definitely different from the past years.
I totally agree. This year we have seen a different trend in the dresses than we've seen in the past years. The past years we've seen a lot of sparkles, a lot of slim, tight, sparkly. We saw the mirror dresses, which were all out. And then this year we've seen more ruffly, kind of laid back, almost more bridesmaid kind of style dresses. But some of them definitely still have that prom feel. And I love the ruffles for some dresses, but I feel like we've almost crossed that line to where some of them are like Easter dresses almost.
Exactly. Like, I love the dresses, like, with, like, the ruffles and everything this year, because especially, like, if you don't want to wear something that's super, like, tight, slim or whatever, but you don't want to have a ball gown per se. You also have those ruffles that give more volume. But then I feel like there is kind of, again, that line where it's like, some of the dresses, they look like they were like just bought for Easter. And like, you want to have something that's more for like a momentous occasion like prom. You want to have something that's more dressed up. And if you just wear something that looks like, oh, this person looks like they wore it for Easter, you know, it's kind of a little different.
No, I totally agree. I think that prom to me is like, you go all out, it's completely glammed up. And that's kind of why I love the sparkle dresses, and I love that kind of style that goes with prom. So this year it was a little bit different. And like you said about the ruffles, I love the ruffles if it's done right. If the ruffles are done in a prom sense where the dress is still sparkly, like you wouldn't wear it to Easter or you wouldn't wear it to a wedding as a bridesmaid, then it's like a prom dress. But if people have like kind of taken that to too much of an extent, like it's too bridesmaid, too Easter. Like, I don't want to wear the same dress I wore on Easter Sunday to prom.
Because then it doesn't stick out as, like, a momentous occasion like prom.
Yes, I agree. And I know we've seen a lot of the trends with, like, guys kind of stay the same. Like, it's always formal. It's always tuxedos for most guys. Sometimes you can pull off a suit, which, as long as it's more formal, like, we've seen that kind of stay very similar. But the dresses over the years, back when we were in, like, middle school, it was, like, the beaded kind of middle part, and we've seen a lot of corsets this year. We've seen a lot of, like we said, the ruffles, and I love how the dresses kind of change depending on the year so much, but the guys' style has very much stayed the same.
Yeah, because like even like if you think about it, like when we were like in elementary school or middle school, like watching all like the high school girls go to prom, like it's very different how we dress now.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Yeah. So, but I love the trend. Like I feel like it very much like matches kind of the vibe this
Oh,
year
yeah.
for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
So. Well, anyways, that's all we have for today's show. For Blue Hawk Talk, I'm Veronika Volcjak.
And I'm Kyla Lewis. Keep rocking, Blue Hawks.